being teamfortress.tv with Admirable, HYS and Jon, covering the ETF2L Season 17 powered by TT Esports Premiership Week 1 fixture between Ayogurl, Sugar Daddy, Hood Pussy Creepers versus La Berrichonne de Châteauroux. We saw a granary go 3-2 in favour of Ayogurl, and there was a fairly decisive response from the French at LBC, taking Gully Wash 5-3 to finish. Yes, 5-3 after a few sort of a rout at the end from Ayogurl. Not enough to turn it around, but a draw there overall, I think is what I'm trying to say. Spit it out, man. We're going to the interviews now, though. And HYS, I'm going to let you decide who we talk to first.
So let's get the initial reaction from Dark, really. What were your thoughts about the sort of overall balance of the game?
Gully Wash is more fresh in my mind, but it was just, it felt like on the mids, like the first 3 mids, I think it was, we got destroyed on the mids. And when we did have, for example, the medic advantage, we didn't use it properly. One case sticks in my mind when we had heals, and I was telling everyone to get in big doors and just eat the heals. Like we just took so long to get the heals that we didn't even have the health advantage anymore, so we just had to fall out. It feels like we made a lot of mistakes like that, not quite playing together as a team.
Yeah, certainly there seems to be a stage in that map where a lot of Ubers were exchanged without a round won or lost, if you like. And my perspective, there were quite a few Ubers where it looked like suddenly someone had an advantage and they could go on to win the round from that, or perhaps obviously give themselves a good advantage. It seemed to be there was a few wasted opportunities. Did you sort of pick up on that at any stage when there were sort of long periods where you were pushing backwards and forwards, or did you feel like really it was just ultimately the middle was outside of that period of the game that cost you the whole, the balance of the map?
Honestly, we should have lost 5-0 because of the amount of times they failed the last push. Like we just sat there with a heavy pyro and they just couldn't get past it for some reason. But if we'd not defended all the last pushes, we definitely would have been 5-0 before we could have made a response.
James, do you have any questions to come in with?
Stark, how do you stay so handsome?
Good night's sleep and face lotion.
It was interesting. Just we listened to the comms there for the last part of the game. I mean, you guys really started to hit your stride there when you had nothing to lose. That sort of desperation play. But do you think you've been overthinking it up until that point, or have you just sort of been sleepwalking into this like 3-round, 4-round deficit? Should you have sort of realized earlier, like not when there's 5 minutes to go, but maybe when there's 15 minutes to go, now is the time we need to really change the pace of our play?
I think it was. I'm not sure if it was the pace of our play. I think it was just the confidence. Like as soon as we smashed the first round, that we just smashed the round and pushed on to last. The second one was so easy because everyone was so confident. Everyone started hitting their shots and running in. But I'm not sure if we'd gone that aggressive at the start. I'm not sure if it would have been the same, because I don't think that when you're sitting like 5-1 up and there's only 5 minutes left in the map, you kind of got the mindset that you've won the game. So I'm not sure how it would have worked out if it was we'd done that from the beginning.
I'd like to ask Ethug how he felt in his first official here for Ayogurl. We mentioned in the pre-game, that he stepped in for Permzilla recently. How welcoming have the guys been? I know you're familiar with a lot of these players, but were you happy with your performance today?
Yeah, I'm happy. I was lagging a bit though, so there's not much I can do about that. But I think, at least in Gully Wash, I was lagging quite a lot. So I had like a 0.9 KD or something in the start, which is horrible. And that's kind of gap that you see on the logs if you look at the logs. But yeah, I'm happy about my performance. I don't think it would have changed much if I wasn't lagging.
Yeah, we were trying to play on the battle of the scouts here. We felt, or at least in the pre-season, I've asked a lot of questions about the Ayogurl flank. I'm referring at least to Sideshow, Haku, and Permzilla, and now you, Ethug. But were you sort of intimidated coming up against this Evocate side, LBC side? Were you taking a more passive stance on the flank? Did you want to stay out of those fights, try not to take those engagements?
I knew Flippy was really good, and I would say an advocate with Plapla was a lot more. I would be a lot more confident against Plapla. When I got Demol in, I've heard from Stark that Demol was really good, but I haven't seen it for myself, so it was really like I was really unsure what I was going up against, and what it seemed to be like is a second Flippy. Like he's really good, so it's being scout against that team is really difficult. Especially in this team where we have Hawku, which is his first season ever, and is his first season in Prem as well. So it's really like Hawku does small mistakes all the time, but he's learning really quickly. But he's also he's because he's played with Solar earlier. He played a lot with Solar. He's always ready to go and damage and deal damage all the time, which sometimes isn't always the best when people are taking damage other places and you kind of spread your heals a bit too much.
So you reckon he needs a bit of Prem experience?
Yeah, but he's definitely good. He's definitely good. But against Flippy and Demol, it's of course really hard.
One player with a lot of Prem experience is Flippy, and we are joined by him and the Bull right now. Don't think I've still figured out how to pronounce that one. But yes, Flippy, what happened with the Mule? Where did he disappear to?
I don't know, and just disconnected. And since then, nothing, absolutely nothing.
Apparently, T-Mac got, like, he called him and his PC crashed and wouldn't, like, turn on again. So, like, he couldn't turn his PC on. We had to get a Merc. He couldn't play.
Yeah, and I think Ayogurl were pretty reasonable to let you take a Merc of the caliber of Flip.
Yeah, we thank them again for letting Flip Merc. Like, they could have been more strict and refuse Mercs, but it was really cool from them, and nice fair play.
Obviously, I should ask you about the change in your team name. We discussed it in the pre-game. I'd asked T-Mac about the situation, but why did you guys part ways with Evocate Gaming? What's the deal there?
To be honest, well, from my point of view, I joined the team way after anyone, and so I don't know much about our sponsor or anything. Like, I'm kind of new, so I'm not really sure what's going on about that. You'll have to ask K3 or Tech, maybe. They'll know more.
Well, luckily we don't have that many lands, so well, maybe when's the next French land coming up? Actually, is this going to impact on your land dreams?
Well, to be honest, like, the sponsor didn't give us that much of support. I don't think it will change that much. I don't know.
That's the story of TF2, I guess. But I should ask you as well, like, it's never interesting to ask you guys about why you won Gully Wash. I want to know why you lost Granary. What went wrong there? What do you pinpoint the real problems you were having on Granary?
Well, maybe Flippy could answer that after, but from my point of view, I think we didn't focus Mike enough. Like, he was doing so much damage, denying our scouts, and, like, basically, like, denying our game style. Like, we couldn't do anything most of the mids, and overall we couldn't play our own game. Like, we had to follow, like, Ayogurl's play and couldn't impose our game. So yeah, like, we turn it around on the second map, focusing more Mike. I think it's what won us the game.
It's basically Mike, actually, so it's just focusing Mike every time, trying to put pressure on him, but every time that we try that on Granary, we get denied by all the soldiers, the jumping soldiers and stuff. So it was really hard to put proper pressure on him. So I guess Gully Wash was a lot easier to do that.
Yeah, our thoughts on Granary, at least, is we saw kind of Ethug and Stark take a more passive playstyle, and obviously T-Mac and Tech were trying to initiate and being very aggressive, and on one occasion it seemed to work well, but they seemed to get the measure of that, and Stark hit some good air shots actually a couple of times to deny T-Mac, and I guess their T-Mac and Tech, when they kind of split across the middle and they didn't sync together, and your team obviously perhaps suppressed a little bit by Mike because maybe yourself or Demo taking damage, seemed to sort of make your play a little bit disjointed, I guess, on the middle. So it was clear to see when T-Mac could get onto Mike in one jump, especially when Mike was rolling out choke side, that really seemed to give you kind of a bit of an advantage on the middles.
We did try our max to play together, so every time that T-Mac was jumping, I was trying to go with him as well. So yeah, we just try to play as a team every time, so we are working on that. Maybe I hope it will work in the future.
How about from your own personal sort of performance? Did you feel like, obviously being a prolific sniper and a well-known sniper in the TF2 community, did you feel like a map like Gully Wash was really going to sort of tailor to sort of your strengths, if you like? And did you feel like that also was a sort of influencing factor, if you like, in you guys sort of turning it around on the second map?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge impact we can inject in the game. I can say, because it's now like something like 4 or 5 seasons we are playing together and playing sniper and Gully Wash and stuff. So people know that we are playing sniper really often on Gully Wash. So yeah, I don't think it's a really big surprise for the opponent, for the enemy team. But yeah, after all, it still works. So why don't we change?
Of course, with the sight lines, it is very difficult for teams to stop, even though, as you say, it's not a surprise anymore. But one thing I did notice is that while Demil was in the game, that he was also running sniper. Was there any thought behind that? Was that kind of a spawn sequence thing, or was it just you trust in his sniper?
It's just that for a long time I've been playing sniper alone in the team for absolutely no reason, just because maybe I'm more constantly playing. But after all, Plapla didn't like even once a time said, yeah, I want to play sniper. So it was just always playing spy. And since that Darko joined, I just said that if he wants to play sniper, why don't he take it? I mean, I'm not that the guys that have to play sniper every time. We just can take it and do whatever you do.
Yeah, one question I want to ask, this probably direct this one to the King of Squirrels actually, but one part I noticed on some of those granary vids was that AO would roll out up top, they'd keep costs up high, and quite often you see Evocate sacrificing their soldiers early in the middle, like they're going in deep, and as such you were very much immune from scout pressure up there. Is that like something that you're trying to do because you knew there was going to be this double soldier bomb? Do you find it easier to survive up there?
Well, we just found ourselves like getting trapped in the corner a lot on a lot of mids, and so Mike was more partial to go on top, and obviously, like you say, I'm just completely immune from the scouts up there, and I think one mid, Mike just airshot absolutely everyone that jumped me, so that worked out well. I think it was the first mid actually, like 2 soldiers jumped me and Mike just piped them all, so it was the positional advantage there.
That's our game plan. We get Mike on the crate and he just goes for air shots.
Yeah. Brand mid MG.
Invite people to jump at him and watch them fall. I've got a question here. It's your own player, Sideshow, is giving me the impetus here, but he says, please ask Koss about having to lose an eyebrow at LAN because of that game. I want it to be public so that he can't wiggle out of it. Someone explain this to us here for the benefit of everyone who doesn't or isn't involved in the AO circle jerk.
Oh, it's not just an AO circle jerk, it's Evocate as well. Bull's in on the deal.
Will be happy with it. Basically, it's a competition between me and Bull. Whoever has the least drops over the season, well, the person who has the most drops over the season loses part of their eyebrow. I think we need to specify how much.
They're going half-fast on it. They don't go the whole fucking eyebrow.
No. Please. And in games that we play each other, it counts for double. So because according to the logs, I dropped 6 times. 3 times, then I count to 6.
Exactly.
Drops.
So at the moment, because it's drops per map, the score at the moment is 0.5 drops per map for Bull and 1.8 for King of Squirrels. So he's getting smashed at the moment. It's not looking good.
No.
Wow, eyebrow down.
Yeah.
And are you going to shave both off then to add some sort of normality, or
I don't know.
you just leave one on, one off? You should
We'll
think
draw
about that between now and LAN.
We'll draw them on while he's in a paralytic coma at last.
He's going to grow a long emo fringe to hide it.
Yeah. I was relying on Bull to just live up to his reputation and drop more, but he's been letting me down.
Wow. I think
I don't
you have
even,
false reputation there.
Huh?
I don't remember these drops. I'm looking at the logs now and I'm seeing 3 drops, but Jesus, I was clearly not paying attention.
One of them was an Ubisoft. One of them was Flippy headshot me.
And then the other one was that as well. Oh wait, no, it was
Was there a scout,
eating
I
a
think?
scattergun in the back.
Yeah, it was a scout, and I
think he
presumed that I'd spam, and Mike didn't say anything when there was a scout behind me. Like, I just took like 30 damage, and I thought I'd just like caught a random rocket or something, and then scout just meat shots me.
We jumped into your comms a couple of times, guys. We didn't do it as much as we should have. Ips only reminded me. I mean, I forgot until like 5 minutes before the end of Granary, and then we had the pauses sort of interrupting things in Gullywash. But it seems like Mike is like the least vocal person on your team. I know we were only in there for little glimpses, but Stark's the clear voice there. Is that something that needs to change? Should Mike be screaming out his damage more often?
Well, he does it when we tell him normally. Like, if we bring it up, then for the next 5 minutes or so, he will calm his damage, but he just needs to break out of a habit. Like, he'll just go into DM mode, and he'll just start MGing people in front of him and already say anything.
The Terminator.
Yeah, exactly.
The red mist comes down and he just goes into the berserk mode and starts trying to kill everyone.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, this has been interesting, but HYS, unless you have any more questions, I think we could call an end to proceedings.
No more questions.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Thanks to the teams for coming here for the interview. We had Bull, Ethug, Flippy, King of Squirrels, Sideshow, and Stark. Of course, thank you to my co-caster HYS and our delightful cameraman streamer Jon. We've been here for this ETF2L Season 17 powered by TT Esports Premiership Week 1 fixture between Ayogurl, Sugar Daddy, Hood, Pussy Creepers versus Berrichonne de Châteauroux. We saw map 1 go 3-2 to Ayogurl. That was Granary, but the response from the French was decisive with 5-3 on Gullywash. Stay tuned to Team Fortress TV on Thursday. I think there's no game tomorrow, but on Thursday we're going to be bringing you Commander X and War Hurrier. And they will be covering that TLR game, and I think that's against Phoenix. Let me just confirm that immediately. Yes, it's going to be TLR daughter. Jesus, that's who it's going to be. That's going to be a good game anyway. That's going to be on Thursday, and check out teamfortress.tv. That's our hub website. You can find the schedule there for all the upcoming coverage of Season 17 and ESEA, SEVO, all that crazy North American stuff. I'll quickly tell you to follow us on Twitter at Team Fortress TV. On YouTube, we're also Team Fortress TV. You guessed it. On Steam Community, we're at Team Fortress TV, all one word. And on Twitch, you're already watching us. We're Team Fortress TV. Please follow and support us there. Help us spread the gospel of competitive Team Fortress 2. But before we end this cast, I'll just open the mics to the players here, the teams, and shout out all your love. Whatever you got, let it out.
Hey! Shout out to Demo. Fuck Ayogurl.
Shout out to Pamzilla. Rest in peace.
Shout out to Cube for making
Die
an iPhone movie.
too young.
Fucking Pam!
I can't speak.
Alright, thanks and good night, guys.